Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming here to do another recap video. Today we are talking Married at First Sight Season 16 Episode 6. You dropped the bomb on me. This episode, oh my god, we have a lot to discuss in this episode and I got a lot to say on this one. So the couples are, I didn't do a recap last week because, the couples went on their honeymoon and, last week's episode was not much to really talk about. It was just daisies and roses. But this episode now, we're starting to get into the feel of things. So I'm going to start small. I'll start with Kirsten and Shaquille. So Kirsten and Shaquille, Kirsten is still, she's building attraction towards Shaquille. She doesn't like him being a bald head and 1 year younger than him and stuff, but she's starting to get past that stage and stuff. And this episode, they took a dancing class and they went dancing and they had some moves. They caught them, both of them caught on quick. Kirsten was actually impressed and found out to be extremely attractive. And so, they did their thing, dancing and all that. Then later they had a conversation. Shaquille likes to joke around a lot, play around a lot, and Kirsten is more of a, serious, reserved type person, which both are fair enough. They get into an argument about, sense of humor. Shaquille asked, do you not have, a sense of humor? And Kirsten was like, I do. It's just there's a time and a place for it, basically. And, Shaquille just feels like no matter how hard he tries, he doesn't know, he doesn't feel like he'll be able to, always fully, satisfy her in any way because, Kirsten does seem very uptight on a lot of things. So, I don't know. I think, Kirsten is still trying to develop the attraction. I think after that dance class, she is, but I don't know. And, yeah, I mean, not much went on with them. So I'll move on to the next couple. Next couple I want to talk is Nicole and Chris. So in this episode, Nicole and Chris, it was just they talked about, their intimate life. And, none of the couples have consummated their marriage yet. And Chris says, he's afraid to really do it right now because, he doesn't want to ruin anything and you want to keep developing a connection. Last week's episode, Nicole asked him, do you love me yet? And he was like, not yet, but I will. But I'm sure I'll get there. So and I feel like that was a good answer. So, they talked about, just what happened in their past and stuff and everything. And, they just want to focus on really taking it slow and stuff. I think Chris is a very nice guy and he will take it slow. But I think coming in the future, Nicole will probably start pressuring him a little bit more because he's very sensitive. And so, but right now they seem to be on the same page. Nicole is just very quirky and spontaneous. Chris is really Mr. Nice Guy, reserved and stuff. But, I do think they really match well together and they can really balance each other out. This episode they just basically, talked about intimacy and everything. Now, speaking of intimacy, let's talk about Jasmine and Aries. So, I don't know. Aries comes from he's had a rough life. Aries last week asked Jasmine, what is your favorite sexual position on their date? And I'm just watching what? I thought he was joking, but he was serious. I'm like, why would you ask that right now? It was just so blunt, and she was not comfortable answering that. And then this episode, he says, I guess when all the guys gotten together, this is an episode where all the guys got together and all the girls got together and stuff. And all the guys, he said that, there wasn't much fully attraction to her. He had mentioned that, in one of his interviews that, he's attracted to someone with a big rear end and Jasmine has a small rear end and stuff. And I'm just like, are you serious? It just seems like he's only wants one thing, but he mentioned that he's never been in love before, and now he's telling Jasmine, like, he wants to take it slow, and he's like scared and everything. But just last week you were wondering what her favorite sexual position was. So right now he has a lot to grow, because I don't know if he's taking this serious or not. And he's just like, I don't know. I don't know, like, coming from a player lifestyle into a married life, and you got to leave that player life behind. I know it's tough for some people, but when you're married, you're married. And I think he's still kind of being scared of being married. And Jasmine is just like, you know what, like I'm just like taken aback right now, basically. And it's just like, you really haven't been in love before, and you're asking me these inappropriate questions, and now you really don't want to like do anything, basically. So like, I don't know. So I think that he has a lot to grow. I think Jasmine will be very patient with him, but to an extent I think Jasmine will lose her cool with him at some point. So I mean, that's how I feel that will happen. Next couple, I'm going through these couples pretty fast because the episodes are only an hour and a half long now, so they're 2 hours. So the next couple I want to talk about is Dominique and McKinney. So this episode, all the couples had got to go horseback riding in the ocean. They got to ride a horse in the ocean. McKinney, he's now starting to come off as like a complainer. He's not like really like thrilled about much of anything. Like when they went horseback riding, he was just complaining. I guess a horse like had an accident in the ocean and stuff, so he wasn't too happy about that. Dominique she had a conversation with her mom, saying that, there is so far so good, but he's just not as adventurous as she is and stuff. And so there was a big big thing about with McKinney. He's just being really negative, being like Mr. Little Negative Nancy there. So, him and Dominique had a conversation about, just wanting him to loosen up, lighten up, have fun, enjoy himself. McKinney is, I think he's just like stuck in his ways and stuff. But I mean, if you're not into something, you're not into something. But when you're on a trip like that with everybody else, you just gotta at least put on a front, and then go back privately. You say, hey, wasn't too comfortable with that, but it is what it is. That's just my opinion. But I think that McKinney, he has to be patient. I think both of them have to be patient with each other, because Dominique is she's pretty young. She's 25, and he's like 34 or something like that, 33, 34, and Dominique still has a lot of growing to do. And McKinney's kind of set in his ways, based on their age difference. But I mean, again, that doesn't matter. But I think that when it comes to being adventurous and spontaneous, obviously Dominique is still in that stage, and McKinney is just more trying to calm down and stuff. So I think that with the two of them, they need to be a little bit more patient together. But I think that, I don't know, something's just not there with them. And I think Dominique is going to do something pretty shady in the upcoming episodes. Now, speaking of shady, now I'm going to get into the real drama of the show. Let's go to Gina and Clint. Oh my God. So in this episode, all the couples got together to talk where they're at and stuff. And Clint gets up and said, when they got to Clint's time, he gets up and says that he's normally attracted and dated like slender, athletic women, not so curvy and stuff, and which offended the whole entire cast, basically. So that left Gina just like blindsided, like, what did you just say? Like, you like it? athletic and slender, and like said something about against like her against it being curvy and stuff. Like, and most of the women have on this season are curvy, but they're not. Like it came off of him like basically commenting on their weight and stuff, and he just how he said that was just completely ignorant and disrespectful. I mean, Clint. I mean, he's been like questionable all season with some of his remarks and stuff. I mentioned in my last Married at First Sight video that he's like a male version of Lindsay from Boston because he just has no filter. And what he said, that was just completely disrespectful. Now, Gina had mentioned last week that like she doesn't really go for the ginger type, so that offended him last week and stuff. But she says she's been with like people who are ginger and everything. Now, so Gina and Clint, as Clint was wrong for what he said, I they're going back and forth with how I think this whole entire cast is going back and forth with their attraction levels. One minute they're attracted to their partners, next minute they're not attracted to their partners. Like, I don't know, like, and it's all of them basically, especially Kirsten and Shaquille. Dominique and McKinney. Like, I'm still like thinking that Dominique is also trying to get used to being in an interracial marriage and stuff. And now Gina and Clint, basically. Jasmine and Aries, same thing. Like, they're all of these couples. Maybe Nicole and Chris are the only couple who doesn't have this issue, but the other 4 couples, it's just like they keep, like I said, they just keep going back and forth with their attraction levels. One minute they're attracted to their partners, next minute they're still building it. Oh, next minute they're saying, "Oh, I never been attracted to your type," and then next, it's just ridiculous. Like, you guys signed up for Married at First Sight. Yes, yes, it's going to be people, more than likely people that you don't normally go for, and maybe that's what the problem is and why you guys signed up for Married at First Sight, because you guys made bad mistakes in the past and you got to sign up for somebody who you don't normally go after. You're not going to be attracted at first, but attraction will grow. But if y'all realize something on all of these reality dating shows, I feel like every single one of these people who've been on the show, present, past, future, are all attractive. They go for like these model type looking kind of people on these reality dating shows. So I don't know if it's just me, but everybody to me is attractive. And when Clint said that, when Clint was saying that with the boys, McKinney was like, Gina is hot. Gina is hot. So I don't know what you're thinking, what you're seeing and stuff, but Gina's hot. And he was like, man, don't leave me stranded here and stuff and everything. So Gina and Clint had a conversation about what was said and stuff. And, and Gina just felt like Clint was just not being remorseful. He was saying, "Oh, it wasn't directed towards you or anything towards you," but he was just not. He wasn't really being remorseful for what he said, and and it just ended up in Gina just storming off and going behind the producers and everything. And I don't blame Gina, like, because that what he said was completely ignorant, completely disrespectful to his wife and to the entire cast. Like, he's the oldest one on the show, and he's just he just acts like a college student and stuff. Now, when they were on After Party, Clint got his first episode on After Party. Keisha and I Pullum asked him, like, how would you reword that? Like, what would you say differently? He said, I probably wouldn't have said anything at all. I probably would just left it. I usually go for like somebody who was just like athletic or something. I wouldn't have said like curvy or anything. I would just not said anything at all. And I hear that, yeah, I mean, that sounded a little bit more remorseful from his conversation with Gina, but it still wasn't enough for me, in my opinion. I feel like he should have been like begging for forgiveness, like looking into the camera, so like, this is not me, like I don't know why I said that, I'm so sorry, I will never offend anybody like that, everybody here is beautiful in their own way, or something like that. I would expect more of that from Clint, but I don't know. I just think his little trying to clean it up on after party was just baloney for me. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's basically it. Like I said, these episodes are now an hour and a half now instead of 2 hours, which is cool. But yeah, yeah, the cast just all got together, you know, talk where they're at in their marriages. Nobody, like I said, nobody's consummated their marriage. They're basically, you know, like getting to know each other, but all of them are still trying to build attraction to each other. So, and I just feel like there is a twist, like I'm not gonna say the twist, but there's a twist coming that I've seen in the previews. Maybe some of y'all have seen it in the previews already. There's a big twist coming, and I can't wait to see it because I'm gonna have major opinions on it. So yeah, if y'all seen it, y'all would know what I'm talking about. But anyway, guys, that's the end of my review on Married at First Sight. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back next Wednesday, Thursday to do Married at First Sight, because again, there's no 90 Day Fiance the other way this week due to the Super Bowl. So yeah, I'll be back next. I'll see you guys in a week for the next episode of Married at First Sight. So thank you guys for watching. Please keep the comments clean and positive, and about the episode only. No rude or disrespectful comments. It will be deleted and reported. So anyway, guys, have a great day.